Hello and welcome to News Swarm. I'm your host, Chris from the CHRILLCAST, and today I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that have subscribed in the recent history. We are now at almost 1.4 thousand subscribers. That's 1,400 subscribers. It's really cool seeing that number grow up as you guys seem to find what we're doing to be valuable and worth your time. So thank you for all of you that have subscribed. Make sure you guys do that right now if you're looking for this video for the update on 9.03 for the PS4 console updates. Here we go. Holy cow, people. I had a video ready to go out about Sony leaving us in the dark about the 9.00 update, but now we have the 9.03 update. So the question is, what do I cover tomorrow? And obviously, I know what the answer is before I even put this out here. You guys want me to cover PS4 9.03 update and what that means for all of you. Okay, it's an interesting story to say the least. I just wanted to take a minute and give myself a shout out. When we first started covering the PS4 9.00 update, we had 1.04, that's 1,040-ish subscribers, and we are now 350 subscribers higher than when we started with this little process here. So if you don't know, you don't know. But we have a playlist here, the PS4 9.00 update playlist, that has all of the videos we've previously discussed, and I may be referencing some details from some of these other videos in this video. So if there's any information that you need, I highly suggest you check this playlist first. There's the original response from Sony. There's an update on the $100 charge they were charging for people to get their PS4s replaced. One good thing about the update, which is that CMOS battery related item. Another PSA where I was looking for information from all of you as to what issues you were having with 9.4. Another video where I spent a long time discussing the SU42118-6 code that is plaguing plenty of users of the PS4, not only on this update, but on previous updates as well. Then another video where we discuss the numbers as obtained from the previous one, where we talk about how many people were affected by the 9.00 update. Then we talk about previous lawsuits Sony has had. They talk about how the state of play did not address the 9.00 update issue. We talk about whether the 9.00 update was safe to use at this point. Then we discuss how the Sony spent the time fixing the PS5 CMOS battery and whether that might affect PlayStation 5 users like it did PlayStation 4 users. And then I did do a short video explaining how to get your PS4 cloud saves going in case you do brick your PS4 in the future from any of these updates. Okay, so that's a recap of everything we've already covered and how we got to the point where we are now covering the PS4 9.03 update. Okay, so here we go. Sony on yesterday, 12/1, released the PlayStation 9.03 update. Okay, and here's the actual official website where you can get an official download of the PS4 9.03 update software. All right, so you go to this website. I'll link it. I'll put it in my pinned comment along with the playlist with all the previous videos. But this says how to update the PS4 system software. So if the system software update in your PS4 console is stuck, restart the update. If that fails, download the update file below to a USB drive and follow the instructions below. So this explains all of that. You can right click and save the PS4 console update file. You can also reinstall system software, which is a completely different method, but that will rebuild your entire PS4 software and allow you to recover a console that is soft bricked, right? You can also debug and rebuild your database. So there's other things you can do in here. This has all of the options for all of these different things. I believe if you dig really deep, you can find the rebuild tools to rebuild your PS4 database. So those are things that you can do if you run into issues 9.03. Now, the question on everybody's mind is it safe to update to 9.03? Well, we'll get into the first article here. PS4 update 9.03 is out now, and here's what it does. So Sony releases the PlayStation 4's new 9.03 update, bringing minor improvements and a reminder the company is not finished with the last-gen console. Wednesday morning was a fairly busy time for PlayStation updates. Sony started with a performance-boosting firmware update for the PS5. The company then followed up with a similar update for the PS4. This is an article from Game Rant, so shout out to them by Daniel D'Angelo. So go ahead and check that out if you want to read the article yourself. But The PlayStation 4's firmware update 9.03 went live on December 1st. The 490 megabyte patch doesn't do all that much, but it is a mandatory download. The update should install itself automatically as long as one's PS4 has an internet connection. So as far as avoiding this update, I guess if you stayed off the internet, you could avoid this update, but it sounds like the second you boot up your PS5 and connect to the internet, it's like, I won't do a PS4, not PS5. The moment you boot up your PS4, connect to the internet, and try to use it, it's going to ask you to update to this new system software. So the patch notes are nothing spectacular, stating simply that the system update improves system performance. And from some of the Reddit comments I've read, if you don't have a bricked PS4 already, the system performance was greatly improved, potentially fixing that issue we had on 9.00 where the graphics were glitching and having issues. So if you had issues on 9.00 but your PS4 was still working, this update should make your PS4 run much, much, much better. So if you're one of the people that did get 9.00 and you had everything was working, but it was working either slower or games were glitching out, or one of those various types of small details that are a pain to live with, but also not game breaking or console breaking, then this patch will likely fix that for you. Okay. All right. So it is also possible Sony was trying to get sleekly out in front of a known bug before too many players heard about it. Hold on a second. Specificities likely both updates were a little more routine performance updates rather than fixes for any significant issues with our system. Huh. Don't know what that's all about. It's not clear how substantial the performance update is, but unlike the PS4's 9.00 update, there does not appear to be many reported issues with the new patch. So it's good news for all of you. PS4's last major firmware update version, 9.00, was released on September 15th. The patch brought with it more noticeable improvements, but these included all of the bricked consoles and soft brick and hard brick consoles. If nothing new, PlayStation owners are undoubtedly happy to see their device getting attention from Sony. Some of us are, if our device gets updated with no issues. The electronics giant said that it intended to support the PS4 for 3 to 4 more years after the PlayStation 5's release. This means that PS4 owners and players should continue to see both new updates and game releases at least until 2023. That gives the PlayStation 4 a lifespan of around 10 or 11 years. And given the state of components and the ability to get them, that makes sense. Like business-wise, you're going to keep supporting a platform that has 100 million plus consoles that you can still sell software to because you can make money on that software. So business-wise, it makes sense. Strategy-wise, it makes sense. If you can't get PS5s in the hands of every PS4 customer, you don't want to kill off that fan base yet. Okay, so here's where we move into the nitty-gritty. Somebody posted earlier today, PS4 update 9.03. Has anybody who has received firmware update 9.03 yet, and is it safe to update? Hold on, I'm going to reread this. Has anyone received firmware update 9.03, and is it safe to update? It already let me know. Is it safe to update it? Already let me know. My goodness, this English is a little hard to read. So the bulk of the comments I see here are no problems, no problems, no problems, no problems, no problems, no problems. So I've seen very few comments on this post that say there are issues. The few issues that I've seen are something like this. This is, I'd wait. I stupidly decided to install the update too soon, and now my PS4 won't start up properly. Just shows the black screen with the PS logo, then goes in black screen for a few minutes before showing the usual PS blue screen, and then it just turns off. And this person update, turn it on safe mode, reinstall the update via the internet. Now it works fine. For those who haven't updated to 9.03 yet, I would recommend waiting a day or so. And honestly, I don't think that's bad advice. If you're ever concerned that an update could do damage to your system, software, hardware, memory storage or hardware, then obviously wait for everybody else to do it. Because there's going to be a lot of people that just update day one, no problem, no questions asked. They'll just do it. And then other people will be more cautious. But the bulk of people aren't even thinking about this. They're not even going to be worried about it. They're just going to let the console update itself and then find out the next day if there's an issue. Like me, that happened to me on the last update. I'm pretty sure my PS4 probably already updated itself because I still haven't fixed that setting, which means I should go report on that later. But as far as this goes, it sounds to me like if you didn't update on 9.00 and you were holding out, this update seems much, much, much safer but I'm sure any reports on that will come later. The bad news is I've already talked to several people that had a potentially hard brick PS4 from the 9.00 update. And if you did have a hard brick PS4 from the 9.00 update, I'm going to say the likelihood that you get by with this update is like very low. Your chances of actually getting through a 9.03 update if you're in the hard brick category is insanely low. Like, you'd have to be lucky. It'd be a miracle. But if you're in the soft bricked area where, like, let's say one of the error codes you've got just basically says the software didn't load right, or you rebuild the database and it didn't work with the 9.00 update, I highly recommend you download 9.03 in safe mode and give it a shot and see if it works. Now, I will say this. If you guys wait to get the 9.03 update, I will monitor this situation for a couple days and put out a video early next week and let you know if there are any overarching issues. But as of right now, from the data I have, I don't see any. So I can't really comment on data I don't have. But the data I do have shows, for the most part, no issues. And unless I see an overwhelming number of issues with 9.03 in the next few days, the 9.03 is it safe or not yet video will most likely say the same thing. But this is just my initial reaction to it. And let me know what your experience is down below. Did you update? And if you did you have any issues? If you didn't, tell me why. Are you hesitating because of 9.00 causing a lot of issues? Or are you just hesitating because it's kind of the trend right now with Sony updates? Anyways, I appreciate y'all watching. And I hope that none of you have issues. I hope this 9.03 update is the bee's knees and Sony finally got it right. And you won't be watching the CHRILLCAST anymore for PS4 update videos unless you're curious, as opposed to you're concerned. Because having that many PS4 owners being disgruntled by Sony, having that audience viewing my videos because they're so upset, it's not a position I necessarily want to be in. I mean, I will gladly accept pursuing the best option for all of you and trying my best to get advocacy going. But I'd rather it be that all the PS4s out there are working just fine and Sony puts out a good update. Because at the end of the day, that'll keep everybody happy. And that's what I really want. I want you all to be happy. I don't want us all to be angry and disgruntled with Sony. So, it sounds like right now, 9.03 is much safer than 9.00. We know that it's a mandatory update when you connect to the internet and try to download anything or do anything online whatsoever, which I think 9.00 was the same, but it sounds like this one's more forceful. I almost wonder if Sony saw the hesitation in my comments section on the last couple of videos and said, you know what would be great is if people didn't have a choice and they had to update whether they wanted to or not. And that may be where we're at now with updates from Sony, is that there are no options to not update. As soon as you connect to the internet, your PS4 is going to say, nope, I'm not doing anything until you update me. And I don't like that very much. I'm not going to lie. I think people should have a choice in the matter of whether they have to put a new firmware update on their PS4, whether they connect to the internet or not. So that's my personal opinion. But it seems like Sony may have a different one. Let me know what you guys are experiencing, what your experience is with this. And I will see you guys sometime next week with another 9.03 update once we have more data on safety of this update. But like I said, preliminary results are looking good, and updates are so far going smoothly with most people that I've talked to or read. The only people that are kind of in a bad place right now are people that are already hard bricked from 9.00, and I highly recommend you reach out to Sony and explain what happened. And if you don't know what a hard brick is, I highly suggest you go and watch the PS4 9.00 update SU42118-6 explained video, in which I really spent a lot of time delving into that specific error code, but also what a hard brick is versus a soft brick of a console. If that's in that 9.00 update playlist. So if you really want to know the difference between soft bricking and hard bricking, that video does a pretty good job explaining hard bricking. and then you'll know whether the 9.03 update is going to work for you. So if you are hard bricked, I feel very bad for you, and you should contact Sony. Explain your situation. Push very hard on getting a repair for cheap or free. That's my opinion. So anyways, if you guys have questions for me specifically about 9.03, please comment down below. Ask your question. I'll try to respond to as many questions as possible. And good luck with updates. And look for another 9.03 video next week where we delve into as much data as possible on if there are issues. And if not, then I'll probably just give it the green. It's likely safe. Use at your own risk. But as of right now, I'm saying preliminarily it looks good. So much better than the 9.00 update looked at this point in time. So as always, I'm Chris. This has been the latest news swarm with the CHRILLCAST. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe if you enjoy the way we cover the news, all the news that you choose. Look out for tomorrow's news swarm poll, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.